Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is episode 218, Dissonant Waves, back for the year 2026.
Hello.
Season 7!
Technically, we did record our interview with We Will Look Back and Love You Forever, the second one, this year already.
Yeah.
This is our proper
Yes.
return to form.
Yeah, that was that was a kind of surprise little interview. We didn't quite realize that we were going to do it when we decided it would be off for the year last year, and then yeah, we don't want to squander opportunities like that. So
No.
yeah, it's probably the most unique start to a year that we've had. But hey, I don't think we're complaining.
You gotta keep
No.
changing it up. You gotta keep, shifting things and making it different to keep it interesting.
Mhm.
And I've always said I'd like to get more interviews happening. I don't care if it's with artists that we've done before, especially when it's our friends. So
Exactly.
yeah.
But
You did also do something else over the break that was kind of interesting. This with the choice that you fucking picked, Dominic.
yeah, some years I decide let's kind of do a project. One year we did the Beach Boys, the Smile Sessions, the 6-hour fucking box set, as it were. This year I said, you know what? I want to talk about Poe and the album Haunted, but you can't truly do that without also discussing my favorite book, House of Leaves, and Mark Danielewski. And Trix, you and I tried to do this before in late 2024, around the time of the American presidential election, and when we had some time for some minisodes. Didn't happen.
And I was insanely busy with work.
And I was like, because I always think about it in the sense of, if this show were to end next week, next month, tomorrow, what would I be the most upset about not doing? And this year it was, well, I want to do this project. We started it, I want to finish it. And Ritz,
That's fair, yeah.
I even told you, you don't have to read it if you don't want to. This is something that Trix and I started. I wanted to make sure we finished it. But you did.
I managed to get. Now, I should say that I haven't read all the footnotes. Like, I've read the parts that are Johnny and Ed and stuff, but not all of Zampino's footnotes. And that's probably going to piss off a bunch of people for a fair enough reason, because there is, like, some hidden shit in those footnotes. Some of them you have to, like, very encrypted and all that, and blah, blah, blah. And that would probably be stuff that probably would have washed over me reading it kind of at the pace I did anyway.
I mean, there's stuff like the Minotaur that's, important.
Yeah.
The part where it's mirrored fucking footnotes, that's, fun to do.
Yeah. There's also, there is a part, though, like, where it is just, like, all these fake people listed in a bunch of sources, and then if you actually go and like, I've just seen this while searching stuff up. It actually reads like long list of name or list of their various names or something like that. When you actually get the first letter of every second name in it, it's kind of those things. Like, I think there's a lot in depth about this book to truly analyze that is washed over me, and I will probably not be speaking of. So someone might be going and saying, like, "Oh, you didn't properly get it, or you didn't properly analyze it."
Look,
and all I can say is,
no,
I was going to say, all I can say is that I don't think I've ever really cared if I pissed somebody off with my kind of unprepared takes, because this is a space where I can still spout whatever bullshit I want to spout and claim whatever. So, for that reason, I'm just going to say that the takeaway of the House of Leaves is that everybody is gay.
Ritz, if I may,
Before you
piss more people off.
I just want to say, Chicks, just to back this up, for everybody in this chat who has read A House of Leaves that's a little bit queer, raise your hand.
Yes.
That was a bit of a 100% hand up there, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I discovered it in high school. It was a book that became very important to me for a lot of reasons. But I mean, there are points where, like, the names and the sources are not fake. like I noticed Joseph Kudelka named this time. I looked it up because I was playing a game called Kudelka recently. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting coincidence. And he's a real photographer. So, that's cool. But, of
I
course...
saw Cornell referenced a few times in the footnotes, and that's cool because that's like right across the street from me.
I want to say at one point, I fucking sent you a picture of, like, I think it was the name of the
Utica...
trunk.
The Utica trunk, yes.
Yeah. And see if you could source that.
I've never heard of it.
Now, it's pretty obvious here that we're going to get into House of Leaves, like, pretty soon. But should we kind of also say, yeah, we do have other stuff that we've done this week.
We also
Yes.
listened to the Beatles' White Album.
Yes.
No one cares about that one, though.
It's not like we've, had a whole episode dedicated to not covering it. That was Trix's pick. Ritz, you chose...
Yes.
Dogs Die in Hot Cars, Please Describe Yourself.
Yep.
And Symmetrical Dogs, Birthday Rabbit Footwish EP.
Yep, the Double Dog Dare, as they call it.
Ooh, God.
Which you had it as a better description. You said, wow, holy shit. We're talking about dogs die in hot cars and the band that sung about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's okay to leave your dog in a hot car.
Because I think the winter break happened, we all had some very inspired picks this week.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, most of this is going to be probably covered by House of Leaves and Poe as a part of that, even though I think it's mostly going to be a House of Leaves and a book episode. Do we want to do that first and spend a lot and then forget about everything else, or do what I think we should probably do and piss everybody else who was hoping up for a full House of Leaves discussion straight away and save it for the end, seeming it is the obviously big thing that we're talking about this week?
Ritz,
I like the idea of the cocktease.
You're saying we're going to blue balls them about the house?
Yeah, exactly.
Blue ball.
Now, you might think that I fully understand that joke, but I had the black and white version of this. And I kind of forgot that I had an idea before this, without even telling you to, that I was going to just say house in a really kind of weird way every time, just to see how that would go, but then I just kind of couldn't be fucked.
So, I want to ask you a question, even though we're not really going to get onto it yet.
Yep.
Did they misspell house every time?
They didn't misspell house every time. They just they had it kind of in a different kind of mine didn't have it colored. It had it in off-centered.
Okay, there's a bunch of different editions of this book.
It was also off-center on mine.
It was centered for mine, but in blue. But anyway, let's not do it fully yet. You two just finished it. I did not finish it this time, but I have read it twice before.
Yeah.
Let's start logically the farthest away we can get, which is, of course, Symmetrical Dogs, Birthday Rabbit Footwish.
Yes, okay. So, Symmetrical Dogs, I had a friend from Perth who was actually over and in Sydney for Turnstile and was there for a bit and saw a bunch of stuff. So I actually ended up meeting up with him at a DIY gig, just randomly. Neither of us said we were going to be there. And when I was mentioning I was going to go see this band, Symmetrical Dogs, because they're from Perth as well, where he is from. And I was just like, well, this is a band from Perth. They're probably going to run out of money on this tour and then never come back. So, yeah, hell yeah, I see him. And he claimed that they're one of the best live bands that he's seen.
Ooh.
So, I'm excited for that. And that's kind of why I brought this up, because I'm like, well, this is what I'm kind of preparing for a short enough discography. I thought this was a kind of interesting moment of that kind of whole Aussie emo scene that was released late last year that I completely missed as it was happening. So, start off the year kind of in that vein.
Yeah, I would have just made last year's rankings if you had done it then.
November 27th. So it doesn't count as a 2026 release. Neither ones that I did have. Nor did I claim either one would. But yeah, that's basically the small introduction. Yeah.
I can see you're dying to listen to Wednesday yet again.
Yeah, always, yes. Whenever Wednesday is not on stage, there should be a rule, and someone should always be going, "Where's Wednesday?"
Well, this time Wednesday has gone to Perth and shown up here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely got that kind of grungy lo-fi vibe happening in it. I think there's a bit of a different kind of sound going on like directly to Wednesday here, but the vibe, the kind of overall how like I guess progression of tracks does definitely give off that vibe. I'd be lying if I said I didn't see it. That being said, there's a reason I like that sound.
I mean, yeah, it's a great sound. I'm not putting it up as a negative at all.
Nah.
It's just interesting that like I start seeing it in more and more places.
Well, there's definitely a lot of bands that are getting influenced by Wednesday. I mean, it's kind of hard to remember just because it feels like it's kind of washed away even with last year's album. But in Rap Saw God, they were getting all the indie music magazine kind of push for it. Like it almost screamed industry plant, kind of with how much random buzz they were getting that year, which I don't agree with. But I could see how people could get that take because it's like, oh, here's a band that's come out of nowhere. Why is everyone suddenly talking about them?
I mean, that
Now-
happens though. Like Home is Where
I
had
know,
the same thing happen in 2021.
I know. I'm just basing this off. I'm saying the discussion that I had. They're obviously not industry plants. They had like 3 albums before That's All Good.
Right. I'm just
They've been around for a while now, doing the same sound. It's not actually that case, but that's you see that's the kind of whole people were annoyed with how popular we're getting in these publications that they were throwing these allegations around. That's the kind of where they were in 23, and that's why you see a lot of newer bands kind of build up who have had that influence, because that's basically I'd say the couple years difference into their it's about the time frame you'd expect.
But more and more bring up the Home is Where thing only because sometimes the magazines just kind of latch onto something and they use it as a gateway for other people to get into music, and that's cool. And that happened to us. That doesn't necessarily mean that, there's something bad to it, that they're plants or something else. I don't see Home is Where, exploding in popularity now the same way they did then. I don't see it constantly being brought up in the same way anymore. Wednesday, I don't see, being constantly brought up in the same way either now. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but bands get their time in the sun, and then it gets dispersed amongst the fans and the people that find them, unless they're truly, truly a big deal, like Chapel Roan or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, good nor bad. You could say it's probably bad to some degree, but it's just kind of what happens.
But going back now into actual symmetrical dogs, going based off that kind of sound, that's I guess evolving, or a lot of artists following. I mean, there's also some other kind of sounds just in the local Australia scene that I can see kind of like has some similarities. Like Propane has a kind of very similar vocal structure to some of the moments on this album as well.
I mean, all the tracks like James are completely different.
Yeah. And again, this is a short EP. It's about let me do the math on that. 15 minutes or something long.
Yeah, roughly.
So this one wasn't supposed to be a long listen. Didn't really want a long listen. We had enough this week anyway. And yeah, this is one of those ones which I'm sad I missed last year because I think it's good. It wasn't like I could say safely this doesn't become my EP of last year, but it still holds up as like one of the kind of more better things that I missed of last year.
Trix, what did you think?
It was it was interesting. It didn't really super stick with me, but I thought it was sonically interesting.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that as well. Like I think the standout tracks are the singles for me, or I think it's the ones that had music videos with Americana and 2000. I don't know they're both singles. Americana was at least. And yeah, it doesn't really grab.
But that's okay.
No, but it had a music video, which is what I was meaning. And I can get that not sticking with you kind of vibe happening, because I think it's one of those sounds that doesn't immediately grab you, because it is kind of soft. It's kind of slow.
I
So
mean,
that never always kind of like goes bam right into your brain.
I will
But
say it
I
also
feel like
didn't.
the vibe kind of more sticks with you.
Yeah, the vibe definitely. I would say that the sonically didn't
Hmm.
fully stick with me either. I kind of attributed that to the week we had, where certain things definitely
Hmm.
stuck more, and I think the Wednesday comparison, the general vibes of the tracks, those things like Apologies and Grapes is a really interesting song. Americana I like a lot. It's very nice to listen to. So
Hmm.
not totally forgetting them either. It's just that I wouldn't even say that there's maybe except for the title track a song that I necessarily kind of forget the vibe of. But there's also just so
Yeah,
much else going on.
I would agree with that as well. I think this is, in a sense, this was a good EP. It deserved. Maybe it doesn't deserve fully its like complete time in the sun above all else, but it definitely deserved a shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes
about it.
sometimes you gotta just shine
Yeah.
everything in the sun that you find, and sometimes it'll stay there, sometimes it won't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it won't.
Uh,
Hopefully this is just for the sake, just because I do like Americana kind of a lot. I do hope that by the end of this year, I do like still listen to this. But also I'm mostly just excited to see if they hold up to that whole best live act tag that my friend gave. So shout out Dion. So yeah, that's just basically it. I didn't think this was, you got to take up most of the week anyway. Um, Favorites for me, Americana and 2000. I think my least favorite here is the title track, Birthday Rabbit Foot Wish.
I like.
I'll say that I do quite like Americana, but the outro track 2000 is the one I really remember.
I like Americana. I do like 2000 as well. Apologies and Grapes. James, I think, is a really interesting, bold opener. Kind of that more talky thing going on. I like.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on in this EP. Despite kind of what we're saying about it, kind of not sticking totally. There is still a lot happening. There's still
yeah.
a variety of diverse sound going on. So I would definitely still recommend checking it out at least.
Yeah.
And the
Least
band's got
favorite.
a lot of demos as well, so it's not like they haven't had incredibly prolific output in the short period they've been out. But I actually haven't listened to anything before this EP, so
Yeah, least favorite though is a Birthday Rabbit Foot Wish.
cool.
Well,
Should we complete the double dog dare?
I think that's where we should go.
Yeah, so this is the one that I was kind of more focusing on this week, because I wanted to kind of go back to a time period that I wasn't really a part of. I was alive for it, but I wasn't really a part of it when it happened then. And that's the blogosphere. The true time when music was being shared over MySpace. And that's kind of what this band was a product of. They had this album, plans to kind of crowdsource and get the next album out that completely fell through. Then they broke up.
Yeah.
And I have friends that I've met in the scene who talked about when they grew up, absolutely thrashed the city. So I figured, what better way to look into a time period that none of us really have a proper say on than by doing Dogs Die in Hot Cars. Please describe yourself. A true blogosphere landfill indie record.
I wouldn't say landfill. Like if it's in the blogosphere and was a big deal, it probably survives not being in the landfill.
Well,
I
I
believe
wouldn't.
it
I
belongs in the
wouldn't say.
landfill.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the popularity of this record would survive that, Dominic.
Okay, that's true. It's not as popular now, definitely, as it was probably back then. It's no Justice Cross, right? But
No.
I'm sure if you went up to some millennials and Gen Xers who are like big into it at this time, they would probably still have this in their CD collection somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's somewhere in my CD collection. I don't know where the hell I put it. I found it at a thrift store.
But I do like Scottish Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, that is kind of what this is.
Like I was
I
hearing
didn't really think about it, but you're right.
I
Yeah.
was hearing fucking Danny Elfman in my head. I mean, like, what is this? Is this? Oh yeah, it is Daniel. It is Oingo Boingo. Fuck. Like there's that weird singing style that the lead singer has going on. That's Craig McIntosh. It's very similar to what Danny Elfman does on that one Oingo Boingo thing that Chicks and I did.
Yeah, I think the vocals do help a lot of this stand out a lot more. That's not to say that this doesn't have some great songs in it as well. I mean, the obvious standouts for me are God Hopping and I Love You Because I Have to,
Yeah.
which songs that were kind of bigger at when this was released. But there's some kind of interesting concepts that are kind of thrown on here, like Celebrity Sanctum, which is all about obsessing over celebrities and kind of going, it's at a time where I'd say people were attacking stan culture a lot more than they are these days.
I mean, this was the height of like celebrity worship and like fucking reality shows and like
Yeah,
exposés. Right, this is right before Britney cutting her hair and Anna Nicole Smith dying and all that stuff.
Yeah.
we had Lounger, which seems to be like a whole song celebrating being a shut-in.
I like
Apples and Oranges seems to be what, Somewhat Off the Way was a good song. I was going to say Apples and Oranges seems to kind of be what's on the cover there. I'm not too sure what is meant by Paul Newman's eyes. I'm going to be completely honest about that one. But that's kind of like where you feel some of that kind of surreal nature into the songs kind of appears.
I'm disappointed by the way the American album version looks. The official release is much more interesting, much more eye-catching.
This is an album which I would say it's a product of its time, but it's not in a case of like, I've seen enough people go for a product of its time to describe like a homophobic kind of album, and it's not that. Right. This is a true, this is kind of what indie was in 2004. If you look at all the stuff that was kind of popular around that time, and like one of the big blogosphere ones, I just think I'm thinking back to the Hottest 100 of 2004 because I played it last year again, and one of the kind of like big acts that played in that was the Descendals, Amanda Palmer, which that's an artist that oh boy, don't like to talk about. But that was a big kind of online Tumblr, MySpace kind of share music type of artist.
A lot of that stuff, yeah. That's where I first sort of a lot of dispute, constantly Tumblr sharing everything. But
yeah,
when I think of indie in 2004, I'm thinking more of like Franz Ferdinand.
Well, yes, that as well, but that was also a lot more. I would say, maybe this is a controversial take, but someone can kill me later. I feel like that's kind of a result of the Strokes coming up a couple of years earlier, more so than it is from the blogosphere.
Yeah, sure. More to say that maybe it's because I did not hear of Dogs Die in Hot Cars till you brought them up, but when I hear this record, I don't hear like that signature early 2000s sound or anything like that. I hear, I kind of hear what it is. It's just like a band coming in to do a bunch of songs. Some of them are actually really good and interesting. But
maybe not so much the sound, but I feel like just the kind of vibe the album gives is more so what I'm talking about, because this doesn't sound like the Descendals or the Unicorns. The Unicorns is another act from 2004, which I think they're probably a lot more interesting than everyone else, but that's neither here nor there. But I would say that has a very kind of similar vibe in that the songs are kind of created, and I'm pretty much just trying to dance around the word theater kid here, but they're all made to kind of be artsy.
Yeah. I don't see this as being super theatrical or artsy necessarily. I think if I'm gonna consider this in that lens, I think of this more as like a post-punk album. Or something that's more in the vein of like, if this were done later, this would probably sound more like Squid or something.
I can see what you mean by that, yeah.
Is it like the vocals? I said they were Danny Elfman-esque because they're kind of exaggerated and kind of weird sounding, but they're neither like exasperated in the way that something like Squid is, but they're also not normal. And so I feel like, if there was more grounding, more context, they maybe could have gone somewhere with that. But it's just sounding like, oh, this is unique and interesting.
Excuse me.
I get what you mean, but I don't feel like I'm wrong with my take there.
No,
There is definitely a vibe here that speaks. It doesn't speak like in a true how to explain way of artsy theater kid kind of way. But some of the music and some of how it's like crafted here feels like the kind of ideas behind it is to be like art pop, that kind of stuff.
I mean, I do kind of see the CD cover like in my head. It's like in someone's Jeep Wrangler, and it's like 2012. And we're going to 7-Eleven or something.
Mm.
Like it's one of those cars or one of those CDs you just find in people's cars. At least like that's how I imagine it. But even the cover.
You're talking about the American or the original?
No, the original.
The cover.
Fuck the American one.
Original, yeah. Yeah, American one's kind of the American one. Like, I would say the original one kind of feels like it's actually in early 10s.
Yes,
Album
exactly.
art, and
Yeah.
the American one feels like a 2007, like specifically 2007.
Yeah, the American one feels like one that's done in like that hard cardboard CD cover.
So like both of them are ahead of the time of 2004, but like one of them was at least a bit more ahead of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess I can see more of that Tumblr aesthetic with the original cover.
Mm.
Because I feel like that type font, that kind of text, that presentation would go over so well if someone could.
Now, in the true peak of the music and putting an album title out, please describe yourself. It's actually the name of the B-side to "I Love You 'Cause I Have To," and does not appear on the album.
Excellent.
That is the true Naughty's way.
Great choice.
Yes. Very much so.
Great choice just to come through with the one album too. Like in a way, it's like yes, I would love to have seen what they could have done next, but definitely that like drop it, let people love it, and leave kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was plans for another one, and then it just all fell through, and then like the band broke up basically.
Yeah, it seems like they were recording the second one, and they were like, eh. And then they were like, well, if y'all want to make your own mixes, maybe we could do something with that. And then not enough people did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
in a way,
I
overestimating their appeal, maybe. But
whilst I think as an album, there's a lot of, I think this is a pretty front-loaded album, with the second half not being bad, but just losing some of the interest that's created from that first half of this album. I do think at least the highlights of this do hold up still. I mean, God Hopping's kind of a weird song that's basically criticizing people who are constantly changing religion, kind of for aesthetic purposes.
which
but
feels like
it's a really... Well,
that feels like a very 2000s thing to sing about.
Yeah, but outside of that, like that feeling like not really so much of a problem these days. The song itself is still a really catchy song.
Oh yeah.
The opening piano chords, the feeling like it's a very kind of early 2000s sound as well, and that is what I mean by like it is a complete product of its time in that sound ways, but it just also was a good sound. And it was catchy. Like it's not I don't think I go to these songs and think these are the greatest songs of all time and everyone should go to them. But it was a good period that whilst yes, we can probably keep where it is, it doesn't mean that just because you go into a time capsule, it doesn't mean that everything in there because it's outdated is bad.
Right.
And that's how I feel. Like this is a time capsule of an album, basically. And there are some highlights and there's some which is better than having bad. I don't think there's actually a bad song on here. I just think there's less interesting songs.
This is definitely like prime for showing up on like TikTok or something with the
Yeah.
Gen Z revives yet another band from obscurity.
I mean, if there's any song that probably deserves to, I guess, stay or like have that longevity, it probably would have been "I Love You Because I Have To," seeming as that both had kind of the popularity from the album and lyrically it can hold up because it's not really about anything of the time.
I mean, I think I can see some videos being made about Lounger too,
Yeah,
and them getting like more and more ironic about like not cleaning your room and shit.
I don't have to eat my greens. It's yeah. I think this is a true album that I'm glad that we got to listen even in a busy week because I don't think this is again one of those true standout blow your socks off type of album. But it's an interesting time period of something we don't cover much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Something I do also hear. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, so that's why I'm kind of seeing this now. It's like,
Yeah.
outside of Oingo Boingo, there is that kind of Dexy's Midnight Runners esque vocal as well. I kind of get from it too,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
really had to think about that one. But I can see that obviously being it influenced just as much as Oingo Boingo. But apparently they were a Nirvana cover band before this, so I don't see a lot of
Uh,
connective tissue there.
All right. Well,
This is an album I am truly indifferent to.
I think Indifferent's harsh. I think this is still a good album. I think it would have been greater back in 2004, but I genuinely just wasn't listening to this in 2004. I was 6 years old. I was probably listening to the YMCA.
Yeah, the
I was
YMCA.
5 years old and listening to Veggie Tales, as we have previously established on this podcast.
Yeah, back in that age, you're
Anyway,
listening to all the songs you think have been around forever, like Mambo Number 5 and the Macarena.
you know what? I would have been listening to Love Shack. That was a good song to listen to. I was 6. I was based for that one. Anyway,
If
favorites for me on
you
this, God Hopping, I Love You Because I Have To, and yeah, Celebrity Sanctum is one of those songs which I feel like I shouldn't actually like just of how the way it's done. But I feel like its surrealness and its vocal performance just kind of it keeps it alive. Least favorite's probably something like Pastime and Lifestyles.
I like On Hopping, I like Lounger. I like Someone Off the Way. I don't know if I really have a least favorite. Maybe it's something like Modern Woman or Paul Newman's Eyes, but even then, I think those songs are fine. I don't really hate here.
Nah.
Sure, you're just
No, this is
indifferent.
I listened to this a few times. I listened to it working at the smoke shop. I listened to it tonight twice washing dishes and while reading House of Leaves. And nothing stuck with me. I have nothing to say about this album. Truly, I have searched my core. It's cute. Maybe I don't know.
Chicks, right now, I only love you because I have to.
There.
Because I have to.
Well,
Okay.
in most other weeks, this would be the main event, right? But instead,
Yes.
it is Second Banana. It is the Beatles.
I think this is the most Dissonant Waves thing to make it not the main event.
Yes. That's exactly why I did it.
You didn't make any announcement. You just went, guess we're doing this. And then stuck it in the chat.
And do you want to know why I picked it? The main reason why I picked it?
Why?
You're watching The Simpsons?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was listening to the Beatles because Charlie likes the Beatles, and I haven't really listened to the Beatles, but I've listened to a lot of Paul McCartney. And I was listening to Abbey Road, and I got to Octopus's Garden, and I'm like, I really like Octopus's Garden. I wonder what else Ringo has done. And I started scrubbing his discography, and so that's why I picked the White Album initially, and also because we have a whole bit about it.
So, this is the album in which, like, I don't think I've really like properly listened to the Beatles enough to actually kind of seriously have a favorite Beatles album. But this is the one where I'd say, what are the Beatles songs I like the most? And they're probably from this album. Yeah, I'd say "Come Together" is probably the next best Beatles song I can think of that isn't on this album.
I mean, I do like "Here Comes the Sun" quite a bit, but in a similar way, I've never sat down and listened to a Beatles album front to back. I've just heard the Beatles, in every piece of media ever, right?
Yeah.
So what do I know of how the track listing goes and how things are sequenced, right? And so here we are with this, and I listen to this, and I consider everything we've listened to that is purported to be influenced by the Beatles. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe they were actually onto something. Maybe the people were right.
Yeah.
There is one thing I will always say about this album as well, and that is that it mastered knowing that the single version will always be better than the album version, because I do not really care for the pacing of Revolution 1, but the single version so much fucking better.
And of course, we didn't cover the other single from this album period, which is "Hey Jude."
Yep.
No.
That's another.
Which, well, it's the same. It's the same single as it was "Hey Jude Revolution."
Right.
Yeah.
But like, man, I was talking about how I had that fucking stuffed bear from when I was a kid that would just sing "Birthday," right? Like that's just
it's a birthday. Oh, sorry, you had it as a stuffed bear, so it kind of more sound like you say it's a birthday, and muffled it completely like that.
And it was also a cover, that's so it doesn't sound like Lennon, but it's close. Or McCartney, whoever it was.
Birthday has to be probably like, out of all the cheesy songs on here, like the true kind of like cheesiest start, or I guess the vibe is just a song that's just like Birthday. But yeah, it's better as the Beatles version compared to every other fucking person who's done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say this is a true case of like, if we want to know one song that no one has ever done a good cover of, and Trix, you say "Take on Me." "Birthday" by the Beatles is a true song that no one has actually done a good cover of.
Yeah.
But like some of the songs I do legitimately like "Blackbird" and "Back in the USSR," but also "Rocky Raccoon" are all here. All the like new songs that I found, like the "Bungalow Bill," I really like that one.
Yeah.
Or the classics like "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" is one of those true cinematic moments, absolute cinema.
I'll give a shout to "Don't Pass Me By," one of two songs recorded by the Beatles, written by Ringo.
Good Night's
and don't
really
forget,
closer.
Don't forget the song that managed to convince Charles Manson to go on a murder spree, "Helter Skelter."
Helter Skelter.
Which
great track.
Who do we listen to?
Charles Manson literally listened to a fucking song about going on down a slide and was like, "I've got to kill people."
Was it the Cripples last year that covered "Helter Skelter," or who was it? Who did we listen to?
It was the Cripples.
Yeah, it was the Cripples. Yeah, it was. I think it was.
This version is nothing. As that version is nothing on this version. Let's say that.
No, I would say "Helter Skelter" is genuinely one of my favorite Beatles songs, if not my favorite. It's so kind of stupid enough as a kind of concept of how like they presented of, let's do a hard rock song. That's kind of theme is the Helter Skelter ride, but it works.
Like, it sounds hard.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds rough. It sounds, that way that like punk and everything would go.
I got blisters on me fingers.
But like other stuff, like "Why Don't We Do It in the Road" also has that like thrashy vocal in a way too. Like McCartney could do it.
Yeah. He could. Even for a shout from McCartney, my favorite Beatles song like of all time was off this record, and it's not the one you expect.
Uh,
Obla Di Obla Da.
I was gonna say it was gonna be Revolution 9.
No.
Number 9. Barbershop is in danger of going stale. I'm taking it to strange new places. Number 8. Number 8.
I think about fucking Major Organ and the Adding Machine and how actually right they were.
Yeah.
But even then, that album's not anywhere near as good as this.
No.
I could always see my dad's complaint though. He's always had the line of his review of the White Album being that if it was a double album, people would be calling it to be a single album.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I totally get it.
Oh, it is a double album. It's his harsh way of saying cut half the fucking songs.
Oh.
No.
No.
No. No.
Like, not every song is like necessarily
All 30
a hit.
tracks.
Like, I don't think
I can't agree with all 30 tracks. I don't think it's cut it to half, but I can't agree with all 30.
Like, I don't think I Will and Julia necessarily hang, for example, but I accept that they exist here with everything else, and I think that they exist more or less as a buffer, kind of prepare you for the next bout of good stuff. Like, everything
Yes.
exists here for a reason.
This album only almost feels like a vaudeville show.
And they even have the fucking end with a fucking radio static fucking montage.
Yeah.
Revolution 9 that every other album what do we call it? The Pre-Sisters effect or whatever.
Yes.
Except they have the fucking idea to also do a song after it just to bring you back.
Yes.
Revolution 9 is the Pre-Sisters of the Beatles discography.
Oh, 100%.
And no, I will not ever say it any way other than that. Mutual Milk Hotel was first. Sorry, boys.
But it's truly amazing to consider that, yeah, everyone really was just fucking taking from this.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this album is completely ahead of its time, and in the sense of this kind of dared to have a different. They didn't go for a really clean production styling on this. They went for that kind of edge, which no one else was doing at this time.
Like, I'm trying to think of what music goes beyond what we hear here. And like the first thing that came to mind was fucking listening to Elizabeth Whitington, where like all the static and noise is like crushing the music underneath.
Sarah, if you're listening, can you please do a Revolution 9 cover?
Yes.
No,
please.
No. That's not the thing to ask. The thing is to do like a Martha, My Dear, or Everyone's Got Something to Hide Except Me and My Monkey, but crushed underneath all of that like white noise and static.
No, we're looking at it wrong. Sarah, if you're listening, can you just cover the whole album?
Yes.
Yeah.
One track, no cuts.
One track, no cuts. Yep.
One track, one take.
Yep. If you fuck it up, oh well. You'll get it on the next track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
or just embrace the fuck up.
When you mispronounce happiness as a warm gun as warm gum, we'll laugh along with you.
We will.
That was the burping for Revolution number 8. Oh, it was bound to come. I can't agree that I like all 30 tracks of this. I can understand that cutting this feels wrong, and it doesn't really matter because it's nearly 60 years old. This album.
It's the fucking White Album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking as it as an album. I think it probably could have been shorter because I feel like there are moments that just like have already happened on this, but it's also saying that this is still an album that hadn't already happened. Like this was a really fresh take on music.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can find out there a version of this album on like cassette tape that has been crushed down so you can listen to it in your car.
No, I'm actually listening to the Nightcore version.
I'm sure Savoy Truffle must be really interesting, kind of fucking
I
Nightcore
gotta search.
version.
Surely someone's done Revolution number 9, Nightcore version. Please, please, uh, please.
And like, you would think that even though this is the part where
Yes, someone's done Revolution 9 Nightcore.
Of course.
It's terrible.
of
It's
course
really fucking terrible.
it's probably fucking AI enhanced or something like.
2023. Who knows?
But even though this is the album where like Yoko Ono goes into the picture, and like
Yeah.
Eric Clapton's here, George Harrison's wife is here, but it all works.
That
Yeah.
it does.
It's yeah. I mean, it's the White Album. We
Yeah.
That was the reason that we made a joke about not doing it. It's because everyone else has kind of done this, and we're kind of going into this album sounding like Free Caveman discovering fire
Yes.
when everyone else is already on the fucking electric vehicle for the past 15 years.
Yeah,
But-
but okay, how many times have we covered an old record, even ones that are like beloved, to be
Onga
like,
bonga.
Most of them
Me-
I've done, I feel.
Yeah,
like
we haven't done the Shags yet, have we?
No, but we should.
No, I think
No,
that's
we need to cover the Shags.
But we
Yeah,
did
that's-
put down fucking Led Zeppelin 4 in comparison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, this is better than Led Zeppelin
Oh,
4. There's not
yes.
any question about that.
That's not even a fucking question.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like the thing I look for in what I like in musical artists is the variety, is the ability to kind of keep presenting new stuff, and this album has that in spades.
Yep.
And like that's partially because they were able to get this far where they could just fuck around and have back in the USSR be like a Beach Boys kind of thing, and Wild Honey Pie be like this
Yeah.
cutesy little silly song. But then also Mom Like Guitar Gently Weeps being this more dramatic, Blackbird being the stripped down acoustic White Stripes-esque thing before the White Stripes were even fucking born.
Can't believe Jack White got a time machine to create the White Album. Think about it. Not too much, but think about it.
Is Jack White a vampire, perhaps?
Oh, probably. It's just pretty pale.
Well, he is named
His
White.
last name is White.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think this is an album in true case, like, yeah, I don't consider this, as everybody holds the Beatles in the regard of everything they did, as a 10 out of 10. I can't lie and say that. I do think this is a really good album and a really important album, and I do think that the highlights of this album are basically the best songs in the Beatles' discography. Like, back in the USSR, I would consider Up in There. I would consider While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and I would consider Helter Skelter, all quite easily to be some of the Beatles' best songs.
Yes. And it's nice to hear them as they were originally done, because we've all heard 1,000 covers.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But
There's a reason that there's 1,000 covers.
But even then, there are still the songs that I'm listening to, like, why does no one talk about Bungalow Bill? Why does no one talk about Mother Nature's Son as much? There's a lot to love, and a lot to kind of, like, champion as your own special project.
Yes.
Shall we get into favorites and least favorites? I can start. I've already said my favorites. My least favorite, probably Piggies.
That's fair.
Yes,
I like
kind of sucks, that one.
I like Back in the USSR. I like Bungalow Bill, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Martha My Dear, Blackbird, Rocky Raccoon, Mother Nature's Son, Helter Skelter, Savoy Truffle, Honey Pie. Good Night's really interesting. My least favorite, that was probably like Glass Onion and Piggies. And then I Will and Julia are just kind of eh.
I've already said that my absolute favorite Beatles song is Obla Di Obla Da. Also, Blackbird is great. Helter Skelter. Martha, My Dear. Happiness is a Warm Gun. And I don't really have a least favorite.
I will
I
shout.
want to say as well. I just want to say, as much as I probably listed more favorites on the first side, I do think in a total listen, the second side is better.
Yeah.
I will also just shout out Birthday. I think that being the start of side 3 is a wonderful jump scare.
Alrighty. Anybody else? Anybody else up leaving their house?
I'm housing till I'm leaving.
I love it. Zampino going like, here's the Zampano, whatever. Here's how I will describe the importance and the masterpiece of this film using the sound of light. Meanwhile, Johnny Turin, I'm just trying to get my dick sucked.
It really feels like that for like the first 150 pages.
Welcome to the first edition of the Dissonant Waves book club. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
So
there will be a second edition.
Dominic, you basically just gave us the most interesting porn we've ever read.
Yes.
Why was there just this whole footnote where it just gets distracted and Johnny's just like, oh yeah, so I came on this cast and it just goes back to the
yeah.
Because it's interesting. I think it's
the
fun.
Importance of coming on the tits.
Yeah.
Hey, she was important because she had a list of books and sources that Zampano was using, and also etymology and the word labor. I literally was just reading that passage before we began.
That's fine, but why did she have? Why did he have to come on her?
Because she said, "I won't let you fuck me, but I will let you come on me," and he said, "Sure." Well, he didn't even say sure; he just did it.
You know what? Why am I complaining? This is great. I was told in year 8 by a classmate that every good film needs a sex scene. Well, why not every good book?
I
just can't wait for the movie adaptation of that.
Truly, I do not think one can be made. You would have to shoot. You'd have to shoot the fucking found footage stuff first, and just let that be a thing on its own.
Yeah.
To absolutely agree and go outside the joke. Yes, this is not something that I think can actually be filmed or done in a TV. As much as people were always trying to get adaptations of that, this is a book. It works because it changes kind of the structure of how to read a book, and because of that, a lot of its elements hit that way. That genuine moment, actually, I did a take 2 when it repeated itself at the end for the Navison project, and then the page numbers also repeated themselves. And I did like, wait, have I actually just missed some pages, kind of thing? And no, I didn't. You can't do that in a movie.
For those who don't know, House of Leaves, Mark Danielewski, horror book about a house that is bigger on the inside than the outside, also told through the guy who is collating everything, Johnny Truant, but also notes from the editor and a bunch of other stuff, kind of all coming together to make a unique reading experience, where because of the way things are laid out, the book tries to imitate the film that's being discussed, so you're turning the book around. Passages are really dense. Some passages go just like fucking bullets on a page. Literally. Yep. It's a fascinating, really interesting work of art.
And all the time during this, Poe was just like, "Go, let's go dancing."
And then Mark's sister, Poe, wrote a soundtrack, basically. Which is why I brought it to the show.
It sounds entirely the opposite to the book.
It's all the scenes of Johnny going to the club, but not the anxiety. But it is also the missing your family part.
I was just gonna say, was it the case of like she just asked Mark to help with the book, and it was like, yeah, just go do this.
Well, I mean,
it feels so different.
She had the connections. She's the one that got him a fucking publisher. Yeah.
I joke around. It's obviously not a case of this is just like, like, oh yeah, she's using some clout. No, she was I mean, this is kind of I think on Spotify actually her most popular album. It does come probably from the cloud of the book for these days, but like no, it's like both of them were working with each other and all that. There's no genuine case of someone using the other for fame or anything like that.
Right.
It is all a family affair, I guess is the best way of describing it.
Because
Yeah.
Poe's album also has their father and their mother on it. And honestly, Poe was like a big deal in the 90s. She like her first album, Hello, was like a huge inspiration for Jagged Little Pill. So like
I just like the idea. I was reading basically. I can't even remember what section I was reading, but I swear it was like suicide themes or something happening in there. And I was listening to the album at the same time, and Poe was just like, "I'm not a virgin anymore."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, man?
But famously, after releasing this album, it was doing really well. And then, because of the merger between AOL and Time Warner, because her masters were not owned by them, and she was signed through a different label, politics. She got dropped and did not get representation for a very long time. She tried to get it. That got wrapped up in a whole legal battle, and her career kind of halted right after this album came out. Through basically no fault of her own. So
I mean, this is a good album. That's the thing. Like, put everything aside and just as an album. I'm not in love with it or anything like that, but it's a good album.
It's interesting kind of seeing like what things were like in 2000. Because it feels, again, very of that time.
It does.
Like, there's an element, like, kind of like the book, there's an element of it that is pretentious. But it kind of uses that as kind of like a hook to make you read into it a little bit more and make you kind of keep listening to see what else is going on, but it has a lot to say on its own that's not quite as pretentious. I don't know.
And then 20 years later, Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, that's the crazy part too, is just Poe coming back through Alan Wake and Alan Wake 2, like...
Well,
like
it's kind of funny, because House of Leaves had a resurgence as well, due to a Doom mod.
Yes.
Yes. And Control was inspired by House of Leaves, from what I've read.
That makes sense.
That's crazy, because I thought Control was boring as fuck. I didn't even finish it. Just
thought it
sucked
was
play.
interesting. I didn't finish it though.
I did not play Control, but I do like Remedy.
Oh no, not me. I never played Control.
I gotta get it for PC.
No, it was a it's just I thought it was just a bit of a generic third-person shooter that had the whole idea like, oh, yeah, you're beating demons or some shit. I just got like, I think I probably only got like a third.
It was kind of like SCP.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I got like a third of the way into it, and I was just like, man, this keeps just throwing a lot of stupid ideas at you, and then the enemies are kind of like stupid and feel more bullshit. I didn't think the plot was interesting enough to continue on.
Let's see.
I thought it was interesting. It was one of those games that, because I juggled a lot of games at that time, and
it cost $5 when I bought it.
Dropped. Yeah, I think I got it for 10.
I bought the whole collection for $5. Just like, yeah, fine.
A version of the song Control was used in the game Apocalypse, which she is in with Bruce Willis, which is always a fun thing to think about, because that's the game that became, through that engine, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yeah. Okay, so House of Leaves, after a couple steps.
Yes. Also, the song Haunted was used in Blair Witch 2, which is a really funny connection.
Yes.
And
what's also
another Josh Freesh appearance.
Oh fuck. He's everywhere.
He truly is. They both are.
Yeah.
Did both of you listen to the remix of Hey Pretty?
Only once.
2000 something.
Yeah, where they read a passage of House of Leaves.
Yes.
Listen to it once, yes.
That's just another weird thing. But it's like, alright, sure. They apparently toured Borders bookstores together.
Borders, holy shit.
Oh, fuck. I miss Borders.
Yeah, I only ever bought stuff in Borders when I was closing down, so it was like 50% off everything.
I went to a
Borders
store.
was like Target to Barnes and Noble's.
The amount of Garfield books that I got from Borders, goddamn.
last year I went to a
Osaka.
furniture store that was going out of business, and on the inner doors after like the anteroom or whatever you fucking call it, they were the little room you walk into, then you walk into the real store. Those doors still had the fucking Borders insignia on it.
Oh,
Damn.
don't forget what they've taken from you.
But
This Borders is
I miss
bigger on the
Joanne's
inside.
fabric.
You know, the best thing about House of Leaves right now is just literally going for the subreddit and all the fucking memes about it.
Yeah.
My favorite has to be the Tom Scott one already. I am currently at the Neverson house.
So I did get a chance to go to a book tour that Danielewski was doing in like 2012 after I just read the book. He was doing like a reading tour for his book 50 Year Sword. And it was really interesting. I took my dad, and my dad was really blown away by it because he like read the whole fucking thing to us. It was a really interesting experience. And I had him sign my book, and he didn't just sign it, he fucking signed it at the check mark on page 97 and then put something in the front that's like, if you know, you'll go to the check mark or something like that.
Huh.
There's like a fucking extra layer that my copy just has.
Every
October
copy
15th,
of House
2012.
of Leaves is personalized.
Actually, you know, I gotta change my mind on what my favorite of the memes was. I feel like this would be in Trix's favorite memes as well. It's the Waffle House.
Yeah.
And then on the bottom in the reflection, the house is in red.
But there are so many passages from the book that just live in my head. Like the fucking...
I don't even know what that one is, Trix. What the fuck?
When I said I miss Joanne fabrics.
Oh, because the Borders and Joanne's closed, yeah.
Yeah.
So Trix has just sent a meme that just says, "On my way to Joanne Fabric and Craft Stores," and it's a naked, muscular man in high heels.
Who hasn't done that?
That's a good one. Love that.
Thank you. It was one of my favorites, and I used to use it fairly frequently.
Zampano will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Like, there's the part where they talk about echoes and the way that the fucking daughter wants to play hallways, and then it's like, did she say hallways or always? Fucking 16-year-old mind was blown by how similar they sound.
Holy fuck!
Oh my god, homonyms!
This is so incredible. Can I fuck a stripper to this?
How many times has that happened, I wonder? Because you know it has.
I love that. I love that picture, which is also like Jerry from Seinfeld. His hallway can't exist. Person in the House of Leaves.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And then, like, when the book like goes full circle, it just kind of folds back in on itself. I
mean, the nursing home scene at the end, like, I couldn't even fully read the encoded message because I got what it was hinting at. I was just like, fuck, I'm not reading that.
Yeah, no,
I did not get to that. I stopped after the end of the Navidson record.
Do you care about the spoilers, Trix?
I do not. I'm going to reread the book.
Yeah. So basically, she writes an encoded letter that describes that she was being raped.
Yeah.
It's fucked, and then it's basically like, why aren't you contacting me and all that, and so seemingly because of an action that she did, which might have been like strangled Johnny or something like that, or attack Johnny, and Johnny's kind of like not talk, and it ends with her note from the nursing home saying, we regret to inform you that we found your mother hanging from from bed sheets, like as a hook.
Yes.
And then it goes and talks about the price for having a proper funeral in the same letter. And it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
I always kind of took that, though, as like, maybe he was visiting her, communicating with her to some degree, and she just wasn't quite cognizant of that.
I do not know. It was a hard read.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it's just because I've been around nursing homes a lot in my life that it's like, maybe she just forgot. And that's like part of it.
this is genuinely a very hard book to read in many ways. I would not say that
Yes.
this is. Yeah, I hate saying this about books and stuff like that, or just hate saying it at all. This is not an accessible read.
No.
It's it's definitely probably got itself ironically a lot of people who have deciphered this and made their own analysis books about it. But in terms of actually reading this, it gets crazy. It gets dark. I'll tell you what, though. I would say I said it in the chat. This was the pure, actual, absolute cinema. When the footnote says the word house for the first time, and it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, fuck it, absolute cinema.
I will say the first 150 pages of it are the densest thing you are going to read.
Yeah.
And it knows that, and
But-
it plays around with it.
It does. But then that last 400 pages fly.
Yeah. There's nothing.
Absolutely.
It's that like build up and release that songs give you. You're kind
Yeah,
of
I
just
finished
building.
the last 400 pages in 3 hours.
It's building, and then that release is just so good.
Yeah.
And then
It helps that a lot of those pages are very, very short as well. Or at least
Yes.
the non-footnotes parts.
Yeah,
But,
because he's just doing fucking word art at this point.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
yes.
beautiful. It's beautifully done, I think. I love the way it fucking...
I think the bit at the end with the hallway getting smaller and smaller, it genuinely like worked on me.
Yes. It's almost like a comic in itself, just through the use of space.
Yes.
And I don't know, I feel like that opened my mind up a lot as a teenager to like how things can be done, how like following traditional structure doesn't always matter nearly as much, because you can create different feelings and different effects by doing something weird and crazy like this. Like, this is more akin to music and song and like eliciting emotion than I think a lot of books can be, just through the structure of it.
Yeah.
Because like, I love books that, you know, play with like stream of consciousness and getting you kind of wrapped up in the words, and that has a lot of wonderful effects as well. But why I love this more is just there's an extra dimension to it. Literally, it's the way that it knows how to play with your expectations, the way it uses the art of like bookmaking and crafting a novel to go beyond just the text, to like present it as a work of visual art.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of illustrations, it's just using the words.
Yes.
And
it
promises you illustrations and appendices, and you don't always get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are actually moments where it's like, look at this diagram, and there's literally nothing.
Yeah. Like,
and then the footnote's like, yeah, he didn't put a diagram in there.
He's blind.
Also, Johnny didn't provide it. Oops. But that's the fun thing too, is just like, this is a blind artist in the book making a film analysis of a film that doesn't exist.
Well, does it?
But also, it's impossibly long, and no one else has heard of it.
Yes.
It's like fucking outsider art made into a novel by a novelist.
Yeah.
Surely someone's, at least like a student film, has tried to make a short film like the Madison Project.
Yeah, it's called The Backrooms.
Yeah. Although the guy who did the Backrooms claims to have not read House of Leaves.
It's just vacants.
Now, I will say,
God damn it, the local sex shop has a back room as well. What does this mean?
I will say, as someone who read this as in high school, it was told to me that this is just pretentious hipster Infinite Jest. And then, you know, there's the memes of no one actually fucking reads Infinite Jest, and everyone just has it on their bookshelf, and yada, yada, yada. During COVID, I read Infinite Jest. And you know what? That book kind of sucks. It's interesting in parts, but David Foster Wallace is not the writer that people think he was. This House of Leaves is way better. House of Leaves has humanity for its characters. It has a follow-through that is much more intriguing. It's not trying to be as academic as it appears. It's trying to make fun of it.
Yes.
I liked reading this book when it got going. I felt it was a bit of a slog to get through at the start, and it is world building. World building is a bit of a slog.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
that's how it is. And you know what? The other book I got recommended to read over the break was when I went to a comic store and they recommended me a graphic novel and said, "Oh yeah, you'll probably like this." And the first 12 pages showed graphic child abuse. As
Ooh.
as a drawing and all that, and not the full depictions or something like that, but basically descriptions of child abuse happening in its world building. So you know what? I feel like out of the two books that I've read so far, this one was the least disturbing.
Okay.
Which is a feat.
I will say I thought the house was absolutely fascinating as an eldritch entity.
Yes.
Because this is eldritch horror.
Yes. I think about how the part where they talk about the stairs that they find in like the revolutionary times, like the colony times.
Yes.
And then they talk about how the fucking S and the F were fucking similar back then. And then like
Yes.
they're talking about stairs. It's so stupid,
Stairs,
but it fucking lives in my head forever.
Go suck yourselves.
And then Poe shows up in the book.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Twice,
I just
'cause
finished.
doesn't she appear as a quote at the beginning of a chapter?
I think she does. Yeah.
I think so, yes.
Hey guys, I just finished my album. What's happening over here? Oh my god.
Yeah, we're touring this thing. Mark, you want to come and say, "Oh, you're Johnny right now"? Okay.
Okay. That's all right. I'll see you after the vacation, Mark.
I did have a realization
Buy
tonight,
you
like reading
Yeah.
it again and kind of considering everything that like their father was a Polish director. Like their father is Navidson and their mother is Karen, and they are the
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
Fucking self-inserts. God damn it.
Dang.
And like dealing with their father's death, Poe did it through the album, and this was kind of a way of doing it as a book.
Why didn't Navidson just burn the house to the ground? Is he stupid?
I fucking hate when people do shit like that. Like, why didn't Shinji just accept it and go and fight all the fucking angels in the Ava and be a man about it? It's like, that's not the fucking point. Don't watch Evangelion. Don't read House of Leaves if you're not willing to contend with these characters are making decisions for specific reasons. Maybe consider why.
Yeah.
It's more interesting that Navidson gathers a party together, including his like twin brother and these other fucking yahoos, to go like investigate the house.
Yes. And I did appreciate the like break of a few pages of shitty jokes from Tom.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that one. What was the? There was a joke in there that I swear like I'd heard before.
The brown pants
Yes, brown pants one. Which I felt like
used
that.
in the
Yeah,
Deadpool trailer.
to be the true academic. I mean, the brown pants one is a joke I've heard since like probably around since the early noughties.
I've
Yeah.
heard most of them.
But that was like one that I can remember specifically hearing as like a 7-year-old. That's why I was more referring to that. And to be the pure academic in this joke shows that they are actually scared shitless in the hallway.
Now, Trix, you're the musician here.
Yes.
What does the part where it cuts to a fucking bar of notes mean?
I don't know. It's a melody. The notes don't mean like the notes don't spell anything out.
Hold
Like
on,
I had
what
Charlie and
page
I
was
studied
it?
it for a second.
479 on my edition.
What?
479. Let's go back onto that and let's see if I
It's
can have
like
a look.
F or no wait, E
Hold on.
C C or E A, I think.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. Da, 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 da. It's Megalovania.
I mean, it's in 6/8, so it is supposed to be faster.
Yeah.
I mean, this is interesting. This is a project that I don't want to ever do again, but this is
No.
interesting.
Yeah,
No,
we've covered
it
video
was
games,
interesting.
we've covered a lot of music, we've covered movies. We had to do a book at least once.
Yeah.
I want to cover another book at some point.
I mean,
I mean,
down to do it again
surely
in the
at some
future.
point we do Scott Pilgrim and we do the graphic novel.
Well, I
Seeing
was
as that's-
thinking Ozzy Osbourne's autobiography.
I'm down to do whatever. You know me.
Yes.
I will say I am disappointed there are not more pictures online of fucking Hugh Laurie just Blue Man grouped all up.
Sorry, I just blued myself.
So, as far as the Poe album goes,
It's fine.
there are really interesting tracks here. I think,
Haunted's great.
Wild being the 9-minute track that kind of is like the climax of the record is really cool and interesting. It doesn't really build up and pay off in the same way I kind of expected, but it's kind of a club track, so it doesn't have to.
Yeah, I felt this is the same case of the Beatles album where it's a bit too long and there's definitely some cuts that could have been made.
Oh yeah.
Only that the Beatles album gets a lot more of a pass to that. That being said, the interesting moments of this are good. I do like Haunted quite a lot. It stands out as an intro. Not a Virgin, as kind of funny as it was when I was listening to it. It was actually during the period where Johnny's like having a mass hysteria whilst trying to sleep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really great depictions of anxiety in the book as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could go to like the end of this album and be like, well, this album's kind of had a lot of filler. Like I didn't really care for songs like Spanish Doll or songs, even like Lemon Meringue just before it. The most interesting part was the intro being like, this song is called Lemon Meringue. I'm sorry.
I like Spanish Doll because she sings really pretty on it. And it's like kind of a fitting end to the album if that was the end.
But it's not. I didn't think like the closes like even after Spanish Doll, I don't even think it really hits. Like, If You Were Here is kind of fine, but I'd
Yeah,
say
If You Were
House of
Here is
Leaves and
fine.
Amazed, not really. Like I feel like the album's kind of overstayed its welcome at that point because it's claiming to be a soundtrack, but it's not actually a soundtrack. It doesn't need to be a soundtrack's length.
I mean, it does incorporate the book quite a bit, at the very least.
Yes.
Mhm.
Beyond just like, oh, it's 5.5-minute hallway, exploration B. They like Daisy's in there. I think she's supposed to be Daisy, or her child's supposed to be Daisy. I don't know.
I mean, I think during the whole House of Leaves stuff is my favorite thing that we've done this week. I think this is still a good album, but it's probably like thinking about it in the terms of an album and all that and blah blah blah. It's probably my least favorite of this week.
I don't know if I can go that far, but
I will, but it doesn't mean
No, it's not my least favorite.
it's good though. Like it's a good week of albums.
Yeah.
Like great, but it's like it's a good week. It's just if I think about it, it's like what is the album that I probably cared for the least out of the four that we've done? And it is kind of this because it's real only thing that's keeping me to it is the House of Leaves connection. Which don't get me wrong, is keeping me to it and is still introduced me to some good songs.
Yes.
I
But yeah.
am assuming at some point, because of her resurgence, there will be a sequel to this album. I'll be very
Holy
curious
shit!
what that
House
is.
of Leaves 2 Electric Boogaloo. The house has been converted into a.
There's a greenhouse this time.
No, think about it. Think about it. They all have to start breakdancing to stop the house from being converted into a mini mall.
What if she just calls
Holy shit!
What if she just calls it
Holy
Lake
shit!
House?
The Woolworths is bigger in the inside.
What if she just calls it Lake House and just combines Alan Wake and the House of Leaves? I don't know.
Long week. All right.
I'm glad we did
Favorites
this.
for me.
Thank you for indulging me.
Favorites on this: Haunted, Not a Virgin. I do like Walk the Walk as well. Actually, it's one of those that feels like a bit of a ego kind of style song. You know, those ones where you kind of build yourself up.
Yeah.
Even though it's not really doing that, but it's a good song. I like it. She has that vibe well. Least favorite, Probably something like Amazed. I don't think it justifies its runtime.
I like
Um,
Haunted, Walk the Walk. Not a Virgin is interesting. I think it's kind of like in a way, like a, I don't know, not a cry for help, but kind of like, see, Dad, look at me now, kind of thing in a weird way. I do like Spanish Doll, Hey Pretty, but Wild I think is the best one here. My least favorite, we're probably looking at Lemon Meringue or House of Leaves or Amaze in that era, in that part, yeah. Like Spanish Doll really is like the highlight of the last fourth of the album for me.
excuse me. Favorites for me. I'll probably just say 5.5 minute hallway. Least favorite, probably not a virgin.
Like the soundtrack, this album is incredibly 90s though.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was interesting. I'm sure it's probably good that we did this at the start of the year as well, because I'm sure we'll probably have some House of Leaves talk bleed into the rest of the year.
Yes.
I'm sure at some point we
Sure.
might even try to revisit some of it and see if we can have a better analysis of it. Maybe, probably not.
I'm gonna reread it.
I'm gonna finish reading it for my third time.
I'm definitely going to put it down for a bit. Pete, if you're listening, feel free to come over and borrow the book.
Yes, Pete.
And maybe feel free to come up onto the discussion for House of Leaves.
Yeah, we'll do another episode if Pete wants to do another one.
If you just promise me that if you take House of Leaves, you also take Borderlands 4 with you, because I don't want it anymore.
Oh no, the disc is bigger on the inside than the outside.
I so badly do and don't want to play Borderlands 4.
I'll describe Borderlands.
I'm still the Luddite playing Borderlands 2.
I will describe the Borderlands 4 the most House of Leaves way I possibly can. The game file size is bigger than the actual game.
Well, yeah, Borderlands 3 takes up 130 gigabytes on my fucking Steam Deck.
Yeah.
So one thing I will say interesting as someone who's now has a Steam Deck and has been playing on it sometimes, the amount of times I see tricks pop up playing Borderlands the pre-sequel or Borderlands 2 or Borderlands 3.
Borderlands 2 is just goated. It was a good game.
I'll get
It
like 3
is.
notifications like 10 minutes apart sometimes. Like, damn.
Yeah, because I have to
really?
like relaunch to configure like multiplayer settings.
Really on that Borderlands. A way I could never.
I have been playing Borderlands 2 since it released, dog.
You gotta play the Vita version. You gotta bring it full house and just see how it runs.
I have played the Vita version.
Now, we're getting into a tangent of Borderlands, and before one of us starts going onto a footnote about fucking a stripper, rankings of the week. I can happily get started here.
Sure.
Yes.
I think at number 4, I'm going to put Poe. Number 3, I'm going to put Symmetrical Dogs. And number 2, I'm going to put Dogs Die in Hot Cars. Just because I think the Dogs Die in Hot Cars, the peak of that is better. They're pretty similar. But number 1 is the White Album. Nope. Shouldn't come as a surprise.
Hell yeah. I'll go next. We'll start with number 4. I'm gonna put the Dogs Die in Hot Cars. Just indifference. Nothing for me there. Then I'm gonna put Poe. And then I'm going to go for Symmetrical Dogs and then the White Album. And then on our official Dissonant Waves book rating, House of Leaves is number 1.
Number 1 for me is the White Album. There's really no other way to say that. Number 2,
Trix wins by default.
I'm going with Poe, number 2. Number 3 is Dogs Die in Hot Cars. 4 is Symmetrical Dogs, Birthday Rabbit Foot Wish. However, I do want to bring this up since I said I will be seeding this year with Grief Eater's Warn. Because that was a December pick that I got us to do in November, technically. I will put Warn at number 2 above Haunted, but below the White Album.
I will think about it later in my life. Next week, I'm happy to start since I've kind of already said in the in the stuff to potentially cover chat what I was going to do this week.
Yeah, that's fine. I had to
so
get my links ready.
Yeah. So over the past, be it 2 months, whatever, two really good folk slowcore albums have come out, and instead of doing it one at a time and dragging it out more than it probably needs to be, let's just do both. They're both playing a gig right after Symmetrical Dogs, the same gig, so may as well do them both at the same time. It's a new Silver album, I guess the debut Silver album, Something Worth Fighting For, and the new Kisses album, You Are In My Dreams.
Okay. I can go next.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be doing an album and an EP. Both kind of in the same similar genre of like garage rock. And that is the album Don't Play Here by Osoro Shia Kakume.
Okay.
And the EP Rats, or no, Down Bad by Daughter Bat and the Lipstings.
Interesting.
They are linked.
All right. And for me, we are about 2 weeks away as of this recording before the big Ginger Bee concert. Trix, are you actually coming for that or
Unfortunately,
not?
Domino, I will not be making.
Okay, I will talk to the friend I have as a backup. Because we hadn't spoken about it, so I was not sure. So I was like, maybe.
Yes.
I will.
I was trying, but could not make it work. Apologies.
That is okay. You will be there in spirit. But
I will.
because that is happening, there is some research that needs to be done. They are playing the whole discography of Ginger Bee. So we must now do the Our Sky Smile EP and the single Raindrops. However, there's also going to be Summer 2000 there, with the album John Krasinski playing in full. So we're going to cover that too.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's Our Sky Smile, John Krasinski by Summer 2000, and Raindrops.
All right.
That's a pretty standard Dissonant Waves episode.
It is.
Going right from the craziness of the hells of Leaves to just back to Fifth
Traditional.
Wave. Yeah.
I know we've talked about
Yeah.
going beyond Fifth Wave and kind of looking out for new artists and doing stuff like that this year. I will be doing that. I will be.
Yeah, we're at the start of the year.
Yeah, but there's kind of
Yeah.
stuff to clean up right now. So, as we get
Sounds
there,
good with me.
this will be it for this episode. My name is Dominic. Catch me online editing this podcast. I do all the postings to YouTube and such. You can email us at dissonantwaves@gmail.com if you wish. YouTube comments are always open as well. Please don't be weird there. Unless you want to be. But don't be too weird. You should know what the line is.
You can ask for my feed pics. I might not respond.
I have been Riddlin. You can catch me at the bottom of the spiral staircase. You can catch me at the bottom of the spiral staircase.
I have been Trix, and you can catch me selling feet pics somewhere in a back alley somewhere.
And thus, the first episode, and maybe only we'll see episode of the Dissonant Waves Book Club comes to an end. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful night. Manny, do you have anything to say at all right now?
Oh wait, shit! I need to address the allegations just very very quickly, Dominic, before we cancel. So,
yes,
just a quick rumor has been spreading around, and I want to confirm that it is indeed true. There is a third Dissonant Waves cat.
Oh my god!
I would introduce Raven, but the last time I saw her, she was eating the spag bowl out of my partner's plate. So yeah, lasagna.
I'm gonna go eat Big Ziti.
And with that,
But listen for Raven in future episodes.
yes, get excited for that. Get excited for some baked ziti. Get excited for sleep, which is what I will be doing now.
And let's get a photo of all of our cats to get in together in the thumbnail.
I've already got that one of live Raven reaction. Surely you use that one.
I can do that.
Yeah.
We gotta make.
I'll post a couple for you
Can someone just go into
of
like
Monty.
someone open up Word and just put the word house in blue and put that as a picture as well?
Live house reaction.
There you go. Anyway,
I can try and tint house blue for you.
that'd be great. Have a great night, everybody. Bye bye.
Good night.
Nice.
Good night.